Hello and welcome to English Therapy Sessions. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I remember the first time I tried to tell someone I was sad in another language. I stood there searching for words and all I could say was I am sad. 2 words, flat, empty. It didn't capture the heaviness in my chest, the way my thoughts kept spiraling, or the fact that I just wanted to curl up with a cup of tea and hide from the world. That moment taught me something. Language isn't just words on a page, it's the vessel we use to carry our hearts. Today, we're going to explore emotions in English together. Not as a vocabulary list to memorize, but as a story. Your story, my story, the story of how we all try to share what's happening inside us. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's begin this journey together. Just imagine you're sitting across from a friend in a cozy cafe. Steam rises from your coffee cup. They ask, "How are you doing, really doing?" And in your native language, you could paint them a picture. You could tell them about the knot in your stomach, the way everything feels just a little bit off, how you've been carrying this strange mix of worry and hope. But you're learning English, and suddenly all those colorful feelings get squeezed into 3 words, I am fine. Does this sound familiar? Here's what I've learned from talking to thousands of English learners. They can say I am happy with perfect grammar. They can conjugate verbs and build complex sentences. But when they try to express what they're actually feeling, something gets lost in translation. And I'll tell you a secret, that's not because their English isn't good enough. It's because we've been learning English backwards. We memorize I feel sad, but we never learn what people actually say. I'm feeling a bit down today, or I'm not really myself right now, or honestly, I've been going through a rough patch. When we learn a language, we often focus on grammar rules, vocabulary lists, pronunciation drills. And yes, those things matter, but here's what we forget. Language is emotion. Language is the bridge between your heart and the world. Think about your first language for a moment. When you're angry, you don't just recite words, you feel them come alive in your mouth. When you're joyful, your whole voice lifts. When you're heartbroken, even silence speaks. But when you speak in English, sometimes it feels like you're reading from a script instead of speaking from the soul. And that gap, that's what we're here to close today. Let me tell you about Maria. She'd been learning English for 5 years, good vocabulary, solid grammar, could write beautiful essays. One day, she came to class looking exhausted, and I asked her how she was. I feel sad, she said, grammatically perfect, but her eyes told a different story. They told me she'd been up all night, that she was struggling with something heavy. That sad didn't even begin to cover it. So I asked her what kind of sad, like you need a hug sad, or like the world is too heavy sad. Her eyes lit up, the second one she whispered. Then you're not just sad, I said, you're overwhelmed, you're drained, you're going through it right now. She repeated the words slowly, I'm going through it right now. Then she smiled, a tired smile but a real one. Yes, that's exactly it. That's when she understood. Expressing emotions in English isn't just about vocabulary. It's about finding the right words that match what your heart is trying to say. And here's the beautiful part. When you learn these emotional expressions, you're not just learning words. You're learning how native speakers actually talk. You're learning the phrases they use together, the patterns, the rhythm of real conversation. Let me show you what I mean. Your textbook says, I feel sad. But listen to what people really say. I'm feeling a bit down today. I'm not really myself right now. I've been going through a rough patch. Honestly, I'm struggling a bit. Do you hear the difference? These phrases are softer, more human, more. True, they're not textbook English. They're living room English, coffee shop English, 3 a.m. talking to your best friend English. And when you learn to speak like this, something magical happens. The language stops feeling foreign, it starts feeling like yours. Now let me tell you something fascinating. Emotions aren't simple. They're not just happy or sad, angry or scared. They're a whole spectrum, like a color wheel with 1,000 different shades. Let me paint you some pictures. The story of sadness. Imagine you wake up on a gray Monday. Maybe you slept badly or you just feel a little off. Nothing terrible happened, but you're not quite yourself. That's when you might say, I'm a little down today, or I'm feeling a bit blue. Now imagine something more serious. Your plans fell through, you had a bad day at work, things just aren't going the way you hoped. Now you're not just a bit sad, upset, unhappy, maybe even gloomy. But then, and I hope you never have to feel this, imagine something truly devastating. A loss, a heartbreak, a dream that shattered. That's when words like heartbroken, devastated, or miserable start to capture the depth of that pain. Same emotion, sadness, but completely different intensities. And in English, we have different words for each shade. The fire of anger. Let's talk about anger. Picture this, you're trying to work and someone keeps tapping their pen. Tap, 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 you're a little annoyed, maybe irritated. It's not serious, just bothering you. Now imagine someone cancels plans with you at the last minute again, or a project you worked hard on gets criticized unfairly. Now you're moving up the scale, frustrated, upset, angry, maybe even mad. But then imagine something really crosses a line, someone betrays your trust, someone hurts someone you love. That's when the big words come out: furious, enraged, livid, outraged. Here's a secret though, most native speakers, especially in professional settings, rarely use those big anger words. Even when we're really angry, we might say, "I'm pretty frustrated about this," or "this is really bothering me." It's how we keep things civil while still being honest. The weight of fear. Fear has its own landscape too. There's the light nervousness before a presentation. I'm a bit nervous. I'm feeling uneasy. I'm worried. Then there's genuine fear. I'm anxious. I'm afraid. I'm scared. I'm frightened. And then there's the kind of fear that grips you. I'm terrified. I'm petrified. I'm panicked. I'm horrified. The light of joy. Of course, we need to talk about happiness too. There's the gentle contentment of a quiet Sunday morning. I'm pleased. I'm glad. I'm content. I'm satisfied. There's everyday happiness. I'm happy. I'm cheerful. I'm delighted. I'm joyful. And then there's the happiness that makes you want to jump up and dance. I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic. I'm overjoyed. I'm elated. The shock of surprise. And finally, surprise. Maybe someone tells you news you didn't expect. I'm a bit surprised. I'm taken aback. I was caught off guard. Something bigger happens. I'm surprised. I'm shocked. I'm startled. Or something completely blows your mind. I'm astonished. I'm astounded. I'm stunned. I'm blown away. Let me tell you 3 short stories, 3 moments where emotions needed the right words. Story 1, the canceled Friday. Sarah had been looking forward to Friday night all week. Her friend was supposed to come over. They'd planned to watch movies, eat pizza, just relax. Then at 5 p.m., she got a text. "Sorry, can't make it, something came up." Old Sarah might have texted back, "I am angry." But Sarah had been practicing emotional English. So instead, she wrote, "I'm pretty frustrated, to be honest. I was really looking forward to seeing you." Do you see the difference? The second message is real, it's vulnerable, it explains not just the feeling but the why behind it. Story 2, the Monday morning. David walked into the office and his colleague asked, "How was your weekend?" His grandfather had just been diagnosed with something serious. He barely slept, he'd been crying on and off, but he just said, "I am sad." His colleague nodded awkwardly and walked away. Later, David tried again with another coworker. "Honestly, I'm feeling really down about some family news. It's been weighing on me." This time his coworker stopped, sat down, asked if he wanted to talk. Same feeling, different words, completely different outcome. Story 3, the new beginning. Lisa couldn't sleep the night before her new job. Her mind was racing. Her stomach felt tight. She kept thinking about all the things that could go wrong. Her friend texted, "How are you feeling?" She could have said, "I am nervous." Instead, she wrote, "I'm a bit anxious but also excited. It's a lot of mixed feelings, you know." And her friend wrote back, "That's totally normal, you're going to be amazing." Notice what happened in all 3 stories? The real emotional language, the phrases like "to be honest," "really," "a bit," they made the feelings more human, more relatable, more real. That's the language we actually use when we let people into our hearts. As we come to the end of today's session, I want to leave you with something important. Your emotions are your story, and in English you have thousands of words to tell that story, not just happy and sad, but all the beautiful, complicated, messy feelings in between. You don't need to memorize every word I shared today. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. Because here's the truth, native speakers don't want textbook English from you. They want to know how you're actually doing. They want to understand what's happening in your heart. And when you can share that, even imperfectly, that's when real connection happens. So I have a little homework for you this week. Tell your emotional story in English, just once a day. Maybe you keep a feelings journal. Maybe you tell a friend how you're really doing. Maybe you just stand in front of the mirror and say it out loud. "I'm feeling overwhelmed today." "I'm actually pretty excited about this." "I've been going through a rough time, but I'm hopeful." Each time you do this, you're not just practicing English, you're making the language yours. Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, your feelings are valid, your English is valid, and you are doing amazing. Take care of yourself.